You came into crypto probably because crypto gives you that chance to catch up. Do you feel like home prices have run away from you? Well, it's because they have. Does it feel like you'll never be able to catch up? It does feel that way, doesn't it? But your first million in crypto gains is likely right around the corner if you're doing the right things. But are you doing the right things? You see, innovation creates massive opportunities, and those who get there first and understand it, they become the few that get massively ahead. But I'll warn you, 95% of people in crypto don't get ahead. There's a secret that the massively successful do that most everyone else in crypto doesn't do. Today, let's talk about that openly, what the secret is that makes all the difference. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel and our family. Have you ever worried about money? What if you learned to use some of your money to work for you in just the right way so that you never had to worry about money again? Because isn't that what crypto gives us? Now, I grew up poor in life. We didn't have money for anything but used clothes, cheap brands of pretty much everything. And yes, my school wardrobe consisted of garage sale clothes. Now, growing up so poor, I realized the true value of money isn't that it creates happiness. It's that it allows us options. And having money can also decrease that gnawing worry we carry of how do we meet all these financial obligations that are essential to survival. Now, when I found crypto 8 years ago, it wasn't long before I could see that crypto investment done right had the most amazing, massive potential to allow people to catch up. Not only to catch up, but to get way ahead to a place where they don't have to worry about money again. Now, after 8 years of being in crypto, I know that crypto can and will change your finances and your life, but only if you're doing it right. While being in crypto, I learned something very scary. You see, I know people that have been here in crypto longer than I have, but aren't even rich yet. They're still stuck where they were when they started 9-10 years ago. I learned that 95% of people in crypto don't make meaningful money or flat out lose money. And it's because they are just doing it wrong. And if you make one switch, it will change your results completely. Only 5% of crypto investors make the life-changing gains that take them into the lifestyle we all dreamed about as kids. Now, haven't we all learned in life that if you find what the successful people are doing and you copy that exactly how they do things, then you start having the same kind of results. So when I was new to crypto, I focused 100% of everything on figuring out what those 5% did, and I put that into practice myself. And within 4 years, using those principles, I was able to get rid of my day job and fire my day job, even though they were good to me. I was able to move to the city that I wanted and put myself in position to never have to work again if I didn't want to. Now, here's what I share here in this channel is where I share what I learned. I share my research on the companies I like and why they like them. I do want to give a big shout out to our strategic partners, OneChain and DeFinity. These strategic partners give me access to great insights from the team, as well as when we do our Friday live streams, giveaways for you guys to earn some extra crypto just by paying attention. Now, 3 weeks ago, crypto completely tanked over fears of a trade war with China. Now, even though these fears are pretty much subsided, crypto is still way down in pricing. Now, many see this as a bad thing. I hope you see that they have it all wrong. Today, I'm going to share with you the number one secret that 95% of people get wrong. And yes, this is going to sound so simple. And it is so simple. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it isn't hard to do. But once you get it and you rewire your thinking to be part of that 5% that does things differently, it will be your superpower. You'll be able to do things most people can't do in utilizing your money to make money for you. Now, what is that secret? The secret that makes so many fail in crypto? It's as simple as buy low, sell high. Now, I know this sounds simple, right? If it's that simple, why in 2021, when Bitcoin's price was at 69,000, were the exchange servers crashing with people trying to buy? But yet, when Bitcoin bottomed out in November of 2022, why were there so few buyers taking advantage of the low prices? Though buy low, sell high sounds like the simplest thing you could ever do, let's look at some very real examples. And let's look at if that's what happens for most people where they buy low and sell high. We are live. Good to have you here, Abe. I become a specialist in assessing risk and running into what the normies call a dumpster fire. I love it. Happy Sunday. Good to see you, Sale. All right. Let's look at a chart here. Now, this is Bitcoin's chart. Now, this was back in 2021, and this is where everyone was trying to buy. Now, of course, they couldn't see what the future had, and so it just seemed like it would go up for forever. But it never plays out this way. And then there was this big decline here, taking Bitcoin all the way down to 14,800. Let me ask you, were there way more buyers up here than there were down here? Yes, way more. Now, why is that? Well, because buy low, sell high is a completely different frame of thinking than what 95% of people do. Literally only 5%. This is the secret that makes all this difference. Now, the buy low, sell high. Now, you don't want to just buy anything low. You want to buy crypto projects that have a strong fundamental basis for why they might survive into the coming bull market. When you combine those two things together, a buy low combined with research towards what projects have a good chance to make it, you can take risks that are massively in your favor. Like, have you ever gone to the casino and you played roulette, and in roulette table, you had a little bit under a 50-50 chance of winning if you put it all on black. And if you put it all on black, you won, you would double your money. Now, that's incredible, right? What if in the crypto space over a 4 to 5 year cycle period during the bear market, you could look for specific crypto projects that had maybe a 70 to 95% chance of surviving to the bull market. And if they're survived to the bull market, that their token price, it's reasonable to think that it might do 10x or 50x or 100x. Those are the kind of bets where you can make life-changing gains. But before we get there, let's go back to this idea of buy low, sell high. And you would think that Bitcoin's the only example, but the market is full of them. One recently that now a whole bunch of people are buying is Zcash. Now, let me ask you, is the timing good to buy Zcash? Because this is when way more people are buying Zcash than they were just back here in September when it was $45, and now it's almost $400. Let me ask you, are there more people buying it now than there were in September? The answer is yes. Now, why? Well, because most people buy high, hoping it goes higher. They do not buy low and sell high. And it doesn't work out well for them. So this is what I call chasing green candles, because if you were buying here, you are chasing green candles and it won't work out for you. Now, say Zcash was a project you're interested in, and Zcash isn't really one that I'm massively interested in, but a lot of projects are going to do this in the coming bull market. In fact, most of them are. And had you made some strategic bets, you would have had to be patient. And say you came over here and you bought it at $32 in July of 2023. Well, that was almost 2.5 years ago. And you could have paid $32. And now it is up 12 to 15x from there. Now, was it reasonable to believe that Zcash might survive into the coming bull run? It was reasonable. It wasn't my preferred pick, but it was reasonable to believe that. And yet it has. And just because it survived into where institutions are adopting crypto in numbers that like people have never seen, We have a few early things that are popping off, but these kind of charts are going to be happening everywhere in the crypto space. In the coming 6 months, you are going to see this play out over and over again. So realize that if you're buying Zcash now, you're missing a beautiful opportunity buying a chart that is meaningfully down. That's going to have this happen to it later when it's that turn for that narrative to run. Because like popcorn popping and those first few kernels pop off, you don't chase those kernels. You let the ones that haven't popped yet continue to ripen and then pop. It's hard to tell exactly when the timing is of all these different kernels popping. Just know that every 4 years, back in 2020, the charts looked like this. And then in 2021, almost everything looked like this. The same wave is coming. So as long as crypto projects survive into the bull run, and there's a strong fundamental reason of why they'll get some attention, most of them, their chart is going to do this. So why would you chase huge green candles like this instead of putting in strategic placements in the ones that hadn't popped yet? Now, one of the ones that made me tremendous money during the bear market of 2018 through 2020, that was part of what allowed me to let go of my day job, was a project called Cardano. Let me look for one that has a little bit bigger history. This might not be a big enough history because I want something. Maybe Kraken has more history. There we go. This is definitely the chart I want. All right. So when was Cardano a good buy? Well, buy low, sell high, right? So when was it low? It was low during the bear market of 2018 through 2020. And this was one of the ones that I was just making strategic bets during this whole period here. And this was an amazing opportunity to buy low. Now, several friends that I found during the bear market were also buying Cardano. We kind of banded together and we would talk because it was hard to buy low. Everyone was telling us we were crazy, we were foolish, we didn't know what we were doing. We were the only ones doing it right because that's what doing it right looks like. So thankfully, we ignored all the people that told us we were doing it wrong, who then tried to come in when Cardano was way up here. But we knew the secret to crypto was buy low, sell high. Now, we didn't know when Cardano would meaningfully pop off, and it didn't meaningfully pop off till really early of 2021, and it started to run tremendously. Now, look at the gains people made that literally just stocked up on Cardano at these prices. And if you took profits on the way up like this, in fact, if you bought at these prices, you're still ahead today. Cardano's trading now at about 60 cents. If you were buying here at 7 cents, 10 cents, you're still meaningfully ahead. Now, not near as ahead as if you had sold when it went to $3, but you're still ahead. This idea of buy low, sell high works. Now, Cardano's meaningfully pulled back. We're not in the altcoin bull run blow off top that'll come later. When we are, we'll probably have another repetition that looks somewhat like this chart going parabolic here. So again, Cardano is at lows and it will probably experience much higher numbers in the coming months. And it's not very far away. Wealth Abundance says, pain. Yes, the pain is real. What's up, Randy? All right. Another one that's heavily on my radar and has gotten really cheap right now is DeFinity. Now, perhaps I'm biased with DeFinity. They're one of our strategic partners, though I say no to just about everyone in the crypto space that's asked to be some kind of strategic partner or some kind of sponsored thing. And I look for companies that I truly believe in. And in fact, both our strategic partners I already owned tokens in them because I believed in them from an investment perspective. And that's why I felt I could say yes. So DeFinity is one of our strategic partners, but look how beautiful this channel is playing out. And yet we're right near the lows of this whole channel. And people say, oh my gosh, Rain, what if it breaks lower? And it's like, it could, it might. But remember, the principle of making money in crypto is as simple as buy low, sell high. It's right on this amazing lower trend line at an incredible price. And guess what? I'm going to share with you. Most people are going to pass it up. They're not going to take advantage of this. Now, one of the reasons this is one of my favorites in the crypto space is because they have massive month-to-month revenues through what their business does. That is so rare in the crypto space that they literally have profits on the books. And so the chances that they fail in the near term are so low. Why is it they would fail? They have massive revenues coming in that pay for all their expenses and then some. So they're probably going to survive until the coming bull market when DeFi, which is the sector that they're in, really gets a lot of traction and the popcorn starts popping like crazy. And that's when I'm going to be selling. And at this point, okay, they were once at 10 cents even during the bear market, or just under that at like 8.5 cents. They're all the way down to 1.8 cents, and people are freaking out. Now, if you understand buy low, sell high, you're not freaking out at all, because you realize this isn't the environment that we're trying to sell into. We're waiting for that. And that might be much sooner. In fact, is likely much sooner than you really realize, because sentiment is way down. Guess what? Sentiment hits crazy lows like this just before the popcorn really starts popping. And that popcorn, I'm telling you, is getting ready to really start popping. And most people, because sentiment is so low, they are scared. They're not doing the right things. They're not buying low so that they can sell high. And that's okay. That's why it's so profitable, because so few people do it. Crypto is the biggest cheat code in the world, but only if you can rewire yourself so that you can actually buy low. And then when things are going crazy, you run into a different problem. It will be hard to take profits. It will be hard to sell. You may not feel like it's going to be hard now. Wait till we're in that euphoria. You'll feel it. All right. So what is another amazing deal right now that most people are passing up? Well, it's another one of my favorites in the crypto space called Ecomi. Now, their price is broken to all new lows for the bear market. Now, it's not lower than it was last bear market. Last bear market, it was questionable whether they were even going to survive. Now, they did, and they did incredible gains. But because they swung so far to the upside, they've actually overcorrected to the downside, in my opinion. And the prices hitting prices, it probably never should have hit, but sometimes that's the blessing of crypto, that the volatility goes each way, that it swings too far to the upside, which it did, and now has corrected way too far to the downside, and that's a good thing. So a lot of people say, well, Rain, it's so much cheaper than it was before. Yes, it is. Do I wish I had had a magic crystal ball so that as I was dollar cost averaging at all these prices, that I knew that it would come way down here? Yeah, I wish I had that magic crystal ball, and I don't have a magic crystal ball. If I had a magic crystal ball in crypto, I would already be worth billions of dollars. Why? Because I would time everything perfectly. As it stands, I don't know where the bottom is, so I just buy low, even though it sometimes goes lower, and it's all right. And I don't know exactly where the top is. So as it's going crazy, I've often sold off way too early because I don't know how cheap it's going to go. So this is Ecomi's price on CoinGecko. What I wanted is the history. People say, oh my gosh, Rain, it's so low. No, this is so low. We're still meaningfully higher than we were the previous bear market, but you see how things swing too far to the upside. So here at the top, it hit 1.4 cents. It's retraced down with that like 99%. And so literally, if it just goes to its previous highs, it'll be up 100x from here. And that's just its previous last market highs. Is this an amazing price? It's an incredible price. Is Omi likely to die? I think the probabilities are extremely low that Omi is going to die between now and when that popcorn really starts popping. So this is why this is one of the ones I love for this market. And guess what? Most people cannot come in here and pull the buy trigger. Why? They're scared. Why? They're letting the sentiment in the crypto space get in the way. Now, specifically, the sentiment is called recency bias. So the reason why it's so easy to buy when it's going up like this is recency bias makes it feel like what has been happening is what's going to continue to happen. And as you can see by all these charts we've been looking at, that's not the case. I mean, a perfect example of where recency bias led people wrong was Zcash. Let's go back to Zcash, and Zcash right here. Oh my gosh, what has been happening is going to continue to happen. Is that the case? No. Look at that. Absolute skyrocket to the upside. Did most people miss that? Yes, because they don't understand how every 4 to 5 years, it used to be 4 years, this cycle is a little bit longer, crypto goes absolutely bananas, and it rotates through different narratives. Now, Zcash being a privacy narrative, big enough that bigger banks can be interested in it, has all of a sudden popped like popcorn, just starting to pop. And those first few kernels take off. We're seeing that with Zcash. But don't get this wrong. That's going to happen across the space. Zcash is just one of the first. Did I know it was going to be Zcash? No. Like, Zcash isn't meaningfully on my radar because I like things that have higher potential than that. I mean, this is amazing. Zcash went from $37 all the way over 10x. That's incredible in such a short amount of time. You're going to see some things in the same time frame do a 50x. So though 10x sounds pretty interesting when you've been in a bear market for so long, that's nothing compared to what some things are going to do. All right. So Ecomi, one of my favorites, it's meaningfully down. It's down 99%. That's a good thing. I get it. So many people don't get it. That's why there's so much profit to be made for the 5% that do. That's why you can catch up. See, I'm in a market right now, a real estate market, where 12 years ago, home prices were 1/3 of what they are today, like 1/3. So if you miss that time period, like how do you catch up to that? Life doesn't pay you 3 times what it used to in a job. So catching up, well, crypto investment done right is the solution. Not only catch up, but get meaningfully ahead because it took 12 years for the price to triple there. But if you're doing things right, a lot of things in the coming 6 months are going to go 10x, 20x, 50x, some of them even 100 or 200x. Imagine you deployed some capital that you could afford to lose, not that you want, and it did a 50x for you. That maybe buy you half a house. Might that buy you even a whole house? Cash, no mortgage payment. Are you starting to see how you can get meaningfully ahead? But you have to be able to do something that most people can't, which is buy low and then have the patience to wait to sell high. Most people can't do that. I wish they could. That's what my channel is dedicated to, teaching people to do right. I don't do daily videos that tell you what's going on in the crypto space. Most people that pay attention to those types of videos still don't make meaningful money. In fact, most of the creators of those channels have made their money through their YouTube views and sponsorships and not successful investment done right themselves because they don't even meaningfully understand buy low, sell high. And they're part of leading that 95% that lose money to doing what they would just normally do anyway. Like I said, some of the people that have been in the crypto space longer than me, in fact, a bunch of them, haven't even made meaningful money yet. But using this within my first 4 years in crypto, I was able to never have to work again. I want that for all of you. You're in the right place. Zcash, Pundai, Liberty, and Sane pumps are the beginning signs of the alt season. Um, Essentially, yes. Uh, it's a combination of Zcash popping off, but fundamentally, crypto has never been stronger. Behind the scenes, the amount of adoption going on with banks, with institutions, of them being able to put crypto on the books, all the fundamentals are green lights go. It hasn't been this clear what was coming since 2020. Late 2020, it was abundantly clear that everything was going in the right way. Now, that's the environment I started this channel in. I was trying to get the news out to everyone what was coming because I could see it as plain as day, though most wouldn't really see it. I had made all my buys during the bear market without my YouTube channel. I created the YouTube channel for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted to tell people about this cycle that was coming and that they still had a chance to get things while they were low. Secondly, I figured, well, I wanted to get enough people to join our audience so that we could get interviews with the companies that seemed interesting so we could get better information from the companies in order to make better investments. So I was blessed in that many people did like my message and hear my message, and the YouTube channel really grew quite fast. Number two, we were able to start booking interviews with companies and getting better information on them. In fact, some of my early audience members, 7 of them became multimillionaires through some investments I was able to connect them up with, even during the bear market. All right. What about VV mock FTs? I think you're calling digital collectibles mock FTs. I guess that's a way you could look at it. Digital collectibles is probably the narrative and the terms people are going to use in the future for digital collectibles rather than NFTs. I know that they've been called NFTs, and maybe that sticks. Digital collectibles is a better term for it. Now, what you're arguing is they're not decentralized, so they're not true NFTs, is what it seems like you're arguing. Maybe that's the case. That didn't stop VV's collectibles from doing incredible numbers. In fact, one that I covered in my channel when a whole bunch of people laughed at me was in March of 2021. And I said this first digital collectible of Batman, being the first Batman on the blockchain, is probably going to do incredibly well. And it did 200x from there. And guess what? Doing that video, a lot of people weren't ready to buy low and then sell high. And so a lot of my audience was really mad that I was covering something like a mock FT, whatever you call that. And I lost a whole bunch of subscribers for covering something that then went 200x because they couldn't see it, because they couldn't wrap their mind around it. And the truth is, things had really started popping off by then, and they were wanting to buy high, hoping it would go higher. Even though I was trying to tell them the right things to do, they weren't prepared to listen to it. And that's okay. They just weren't ready. This message isn't for everyone. If this message doesn't make sense to you, then this isn't for you. And that's all right. It isn't for everyone. I'm sharing these things because some of you out there can do things differently than everyone else. There was a scary study done back in like the 50s in that they would have a doctor looking person with a clipboard walk in, and they had 10 patients in the room, but 9 of them were actors. And the last one was actually the person that they were testing. And he would walk in and he would hold up a red card and he would say, "What color is this?" And the first 9 people all said it was yellow. Do you know in 98% of the cases that 10th person also said it was yellow? Because they couldn't do things different than everyone else was doing. Made them feel too uncomfortable. They weren't prepared to be able to do that. That's not who I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the people that will say it's yellow because everyone else said it's yellow. No, this message isn't for them. This message is for those that know it's red and are willing to say it's red, because you have to be willing to, number one, buy when other people are not. Number two, you have to be willing to hold when everyone tells you you're crazy. Then 3, you're going to be selling when everyone tells you you're crazy for selling. Is that hard to do? I don't think so. I think it's quite easy to do, but for most, it's hard to do. Cool. When in this month do you think things will start picking up overall? I wish I knew exactly. I think November and December go quite well for crypto. And so we've just started November, probably in the coming 2 weeks, if I were to guess. But November, December do quite well for crypto, with the bigger blow off, like with the popcorn going crazy, sometime next year. So interest rates, I expect, will come down a little bit more. Jerome Powell is probably going to be replaced by Trump with somebody way more in line with bringing interest rates down further. That is going to put the kind of velocity and money in the economy that's really going to fuel things. And a lot of that money is going to flow towards assets like crypto. And so I expect next year the popcorn is really going crazy. It will feel very different than this, but these amazing low buys, they'll be gone by then. The prices will have corrected some version to the upside, and there will be a lot of people buying high, hoping it goes higher. Right now is the time. Right now is these prices are crazy low. And okay, I get that most people don't get it. I want you to really hear me. Most people don't make meaningful gains in crypto because they can't do differently than what they see most everyone doing. Also note, if you are looking to be part of that 5% that makes life-changing gains, join the Patreon link down below. That's going to give you access to our Rainmaker private Discord. So you do have to go through a second step of then joining the private Discord, the Rainmaker private Discord, because though when you join the Patreon, that's just the gateway. Most of the messages aren't sent out through Patreon. They're right in the Discord, where you're then surrounding yourself with people that are willing to do things differently, that are doing things differently, that have been buying low this whole bear market. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people is critical to long-term success, more than you know. Part of the reason I created the Rainmaker family and the Rainmaker private Discord is because it helps people be strong when you literally are inundated by everyone else that like, crypto is never going to happen. Oh my gosh. And you'll be inundated in a different way when crypto is going crazy, and you'll be tempted to buy more when prices are way, way high. And that's the environment where you'll need to be taking profits in that environment, not mortgaging your house to buy more crypto. Though you'll feel the temptation, you'll see. So surrounding yourself with people that have learned to do things the right way is exactly how you become really good at this. All right, everyone. It's been fun. Enjoy our Rainmaker wrap. You know what this is about. Just a fun way to reinforce the principles. See you soon.
To the space, chasing all of the games, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit right before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I stick the one out cause I'm patient like that, and I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't leave with my heart. Principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, got parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes it time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, studying to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Sticking out this road could soon become a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. Strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go of the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes it time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down, addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.